Good day and welcome to your Southeast Idaho weather plane briefing. Today is June 6th, Saturday. We'll get things started here by going over your weather impact summary for the next couple of days. We have a thunderstorm and wind risk concerns for the next couple of days. If you were around last Saturday, today is going to feel like a little bit of deja vu because we have a similar weather setup in comparison to last Saturday. We'll have a frost concern for portions of the Snake River Plain on Monday and Tuesday mornings, and a chance for snow as well for portions of our area. And then we'll talk a bit about the minor flooding concerns that we have ongoing in our area. Okay, so our current satellite setup here, we have a big, broad, low-pressure system off to our north and west sitting out in the ocean here, and then a little low that is actually our main weather maker. Interestingly enough, but this low over California is going to be merging with this big low, and it's providing our moisture feed and providing us our shower and thunderstorm threat for the next couple of days. Okay, so on to our weather impact overview matrix. Here you see lots of colors, lots of oranges and yellows on our grid here. So take a look at your area here and see what impacts are impacting you. Primarily, our impacts are focused over the weekend here. So today we have thunderstorm threats for everybody, and then as we go to tomorrow, you kind of see the impacts start to mix up, and that will include a continuation of thunderstorm threats for some areas, but then we start to mix in this rain and snow hazard for portions of the area, and that will include the highland areas, that will include the Wood River area, the Sawtooth area, Lehigh County as well. As we go into Monday, we start to add the frost concerns for the Snake River Plain and the valleys. There's only a small chance for thunderstorms still remaining for Monday afternoon. Otherwise, we're looking at a continuation of snow for those higher elevation areas and the rain-snow mix for those mid-levels, and we'll talk about the rain-snow, the snow level forecast rather in just a second here. And then Tuesday, we start to decrease those impacts. We're just looking at a chance for morning frost continuing in the Snake River Plain. By Wednesday, we've all but gotten rid of the hazards with the exception of a chance for thunderstorms in Lehigh County. Okay, we wanted to give you a look at the past 24 hours of lightning data. So we're looking at Friday's lightning here, and you don't really need to pay attention to what's the difference between all the different colors here, but here's kind of where the lightning has set up for Friday. Thunderstorm risk for today, so Saturday, is going to be really across most of the entire state, but kind of highlighted for the eastern portion of Idaho here. So that will include most of the Snake River Plain and areas along the Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, and Utah border. So that does include Pocatello and Idaho Falls. Our threats will be primarily damaging wind threats. So we're looking at winds greater than 60 miles an hour and frequent lightning. So that will lead to a possible fire danger threat. We're not looking at really a heavy flooding threat, but some of those thunderstorms could produce that localized flooding concern. Today's going to be very windy, so we're looking at a couple different impacts from this wind. That will include the blowing dust out ahead of our rain showers, our main push of rain today. So on the left here, our graphic is the wind for today. The graphic on the right is our wind forecast for tomorrow, and this is our wind gust forecast at its peak. So you do notice quite a difference in our peak. Tomorrow we see more widespread oranges and reds here, which is indicating 35 to 40 miles an hour and greater. Today we're a little bit less than that, so we're about in that 30 to 35 mile an hour range across the Snake River Plain. But don't necessarily let that fool you, because winds and thunderstorms can be quite a bit higher, as we saw in this last graphic. So these are just our forecasted winds outside of thunderstorm threats. So blowing dust concerns. These are your widespread wind forecasts. And then in addition to that, and really because of the wind forecast outside of the thunderstorms, we do have a lake wind advisory out for the American Falls Reservoir between noon and 8 o'clock this evening. Okay, on to our frost concerns for Tuesday and Monday morning. So we're looking at temperatures in the mid-30s right now, a couple areas right in that freezing line in the upper Snake areas Monday morning, and again Tuesday morning you see those 34, 31 degree temperatures, so we'll be looking at that in the coming days. Okay, our rain forecast for today, tonight, and then through Sunday, you kind of just note the differences in what we're forecasting just today, and then what we're forecasting through Sunday. So a little bit of a difference, especially up in the mountains, but we're starting to add snow to our forecast here with the second graphic here on the right. So even though these numbers are quite a bit higher, over an inch here is different than that quarter inch that we're seeing here. That's because we're adding snow to the forecast. So speaking of that, let's go look at our snow forecast. For tonight is really when our snow levels are going to start to change. So we're pretty high in our snow levels to start off with, but going through this evening and overnight, and then going into tomorrow, our snow levels are going to start to drop between 5,500, 6,000 feet or so, and start to give us snow in those lower elevations. So you note Stanley on the map here with snow, snow in June. So, and even areas down into Sun Valley and the Wood River area are starting to accumulate snow going into Sunday. So, and then of course you see those mountaintops accumulating snow as well. So you see areas greater than 6 inches with snow on their peaks. So this is through Sunday, all the way through the evening hours, your forecasted snow accumulations. Okay, now let's talk about the flooding threat on the Teton River and the Snake River. I picked out a couple areas that are forecast to see the minor flood or reach just near that minor flood threat. So here we got the Snake River at Heise, forecast to peak just under the minor flood threat tomorrow, so that's Sunday. And then going into the Teton River at Driggs, where we currently have a flood product out, peaking at the minor flood level as well tomorrow. Again, Teton River at St. Anthony, peaking just barely under that minor flood level. That would be, looks like Monday morning. And one last one, the Henry's Fork at Rexburg, not quite peaking to minor flood status until a little bit earlier next week, but another one that we are watching closely. Okay, so the concerns we have the next couple of days, the thunderstorm and wind threat through Monday, and that includes the blowing dust and the lake wind hazard today. The frost impacts Monday and Tuesday morning, the incoming snow threat arriving this evening and continuing through Sunday, and then the flood concerns on the Snake and the Teton rivers. Any questions or concerns you have with any of these hazards that we've discussed, you can give us a call. You can chat us on email, on social media. We will answer your questions. Otherwise, we will chat with you tomorrow, and please be